Hello, it's 11 a.m. in Seoul. I'm Oh Soo-young at the Arirang News Center. We're moments away from bringing you a briefing from the South Korean health authorities on the COVID-19 situation here in the country. Very soon, we'll cut into the briefing with simultaneous interpretation available for you in English. And right now, we've gone into the briefing room where Director of Health Policy Yoon Tae-ho is about to brief us on the coronavirus situation here in South Korea.
First of all, we have Mr. Yoon Tae-ho with the explanation on the COVID-19 response here in South Korea. Let us now begin our regular briefing for October 28th, Wednesday. As of today midnight, we have a total of...
The connection with the briefing room right now has faltered slightly, and we will be bringing that back for you as soon as possible, of course, but it looks like they're having a bit of a technical issue there in the briefing room at the Daejeon Government Complex. But Yoon Tae-ho, the Director of Health Policy, should be back to update us on the latest figures, the number of new infection cases in COVID-19. And, well, we're going to fill you in on that. And while the health authorities, they've reported 103 new cases of COVID-19 on Wednesday, and that's an increase of 15 from the previous day and a return to triple digits. Authorities, they remain on high alert over cluster infections at nursing homes and a golfing event. And of the new cases, 96 were locally transmitted, which mostly were in the Greater Seoul area. Now, 7 cases, though, they were from overseas, so they were imported cases. Now, the accumulated number of cases seen in South Korea stands at over 26,100. Unfortunately, though, there was one more death reported, with the death toll rising to 461. So now we're going to fill you in with a bit of news. Our top story this morning now. There's rising concern in South Korea's new daily COVID-19 cases could spike in the coming days as a new cluster infection stemming from a golf outing has emerged, infecting dozens of people. Kim Yo-sun reports.
Amid the continued spread of the coronavirus across the country at facilities vulnerable to cluster infections, a new outbreak has emerged from a golf outing. Health officials confirmed some 80 people attended a college alumni friendship golf tournament on October 17th at a golf club in Yongin City, Gyeonggi-do Province. After golfing, 20 of them had a meal together, likely contributing to the transmissions. Health authorities said that as of Tuesday noon, some 30 people had been infected in relation to this cluster, 18 of which were participants in the golf event, with the rest being family members or acquaintances.
We are investigating possible virus transmissions at restaurants and while golfing, as well as other activities carried out within the golf club.
There are also infections stemming from family gatherings and care centers for the elderly. What's worrisome is that we also have the Ministry of Food and Drug Safety. We are also looking after the investigations and the quarantine protocols for the centers, which also involve about the senior citizens to experience the medical devices. And there are about 2,000 of such facilities nationwide. And we will also carry out a weekly inspection for these areas as well. And we will also provide our education programs for the public, and this will be continued going forward. And next but not least, we also have the support for the tourism industries, including the discount coupons for lodging and other facilities. And we are also aiming to provide support for the industries which were hit hard by the COVID-19 pandemic. And starting from the 20th of October, we also resumed our discount coupons for the cultural sector as well. And based on strict quarantine measures, we have been resuming these uses of such coupons at theaters and also other public cultural facilities as well. And starting from today, we will also resume the distribution of the coupons for the tourism industries as well. And this will also be going forward, utilized going forward based on the fact that we have been maintaining a stable increase of the confirmed cases thanks to the dedication of the medical practitioners as well. And all of these policies will be carried out with prioritizing the safety of these tourism as well. And during the fall season, we will also make sure that we do not have a large cluster of tourists concentrated in a specific area. And starting from the 30th of October to November, we will also designate this period as a special investigation period, and we will inject about 2,200 people to carry out on-site inspection with the local government. We will make sure that the quarantine measures are put in place on the field, and especially at eateries and also tourist destinations across the nation. We are witnessing cluster infections of COVID-19, and we believe that these policies also could spark some concerns among the public. However, it is very sincerely needed that these industries look after their quarantine measures as well. And going forward, we will be monitoring the COVID-19 trends, and we will also put in place the flexible working and flexible operation of these schemes. And as for the vulnerable class towards COVID-19, we will provide support for the livelihoods, and especially for the low household incomes. As for the 4-people household, we will be providing the 1 million Korean won of funds, and these criteria has been eased, and we also streamlined the application process. And originally, we also aimed at giving these funds to about 25% of the lower house incomes. However, we believe for these incomes which have seen a decrease of more than 25% decline in their income will be subject to application. And also when applying for this allowance, and we will also ease the mandatory documents to be submitted, and we will also streamline these procedures as well. And also, we have expanded the deadline for the application from the October 30th to November 6th. 6 p.m. and this can be applied in person as well as online. So if you are subject to these means, please apply for these funds. Moreover, the local governments are also providing inspections, on-site inspections for the support for the vulnerable class and the lower house incomes as well. And 9 months have passed since the COVID-19 first erupted here in South Korea. And yesterday we had a special symposium looking back at the COVID-19, the 9 months with COVID-19 with the experts from all fields. And we believe that all sectors of medical, society and economic aspects are connected organically, and we highlighted the importance of such interconnectivity. We also discussed the important issue of corona flu, as well as the vulnerable class as well, and enhancing communication among the society as well. And we also have the forum video available from the YouTube channel as well, for the Health Ministry as well as the K channel as well. So please give us full support and interest. And we have been maintaining a curb and containment of a large-scale outbreak. However, we need to devise our policies fighting against a prolonged battle against COVID-19. In order to strike a balance between quarantine measures and daily routines, it is very important that we need to have preemptive investment. Moreover, at a time when the global COVID-19 outbreak is very severe and we have a possible twindemic together with the influenza, these factors of risks need to be fully prepared. And social distancing policies need to also be renovated going forward. And until we have a successful vaccine and COVID-19 treatment ready, it is very important that we cannot have a solution to fight against the COVID-19 totally. However, it is very more important for us to contain the virus to a large extent. And we believe that based on the capacity of the quarantine and also local government governments, we will have tailored responses going forward. And instead of having a uniform lockdown and shutdowns, we will be having detailed measures tailored to each of the venues, and we need voluntary participation as well, and we need to highlight the importance of responsibility as well. And based on such concerns, the government will also provide an overhaul in the social distancing level scheme, and they will be revealed this weekend. And this weekend, we are expecting many gatherings at nightlife venues, especially marking the Halloween weekend. And please note that if people are clustered in a confined space, these are prone to make higher infections of COVID-19, which can spread through confined environment. And we ask you to refrain from going to these gatherings during the weekend. And we ask the venues to restrict the number of users and comply with quarantine measures. Thank you very much.
That was Director General of Public Health Policy in South Korea, Yoon Tae-oh, informing us that there were 103 additional infection cases of COVID-19 in South Korea, bringing the accumulated total to 26,146. Unfortunately, there was one extra death from COVID-19, bringing the total to 461. Now that does it for our coverage of this morning's briefing by the South Korean health authorities. We have our regular newscast coming up at noon Korea time. Hope you make it then. Bye for now.